Welcome, Crusader fans, to the first edition of the Valpo Coaches Show for the 2015-2016 academic year. Joined as always for the first one, because your season always starts first, by women's soccer coach John Marovich. John, thanks for being here.
It's great to be back.
Obviously, outstanding season last year, and I want to start off with that because you bring back a lot of players from that squad. Obviously, the majority of your starters. You know, they kind of went above expectations last year, at least as seen by outsiders. You know, they were ranked mid-pack in the coaches poll before the year. And now, last year they set school record for wins. They go to the NCAA tournament, sweep through the Horizon League. And now this year they're kind of in the position of the hunted instead of being the hunter. Going to be preseason favorites in the league. How do you see that group of returnees dealing with that, kind of having accomplished all that this year? What's going to drive them in 2015 to try to even surpass what they accomplished last year?
Well, I think first, there's a lot there in that question, and I think that the thing that we've been very clear about with our group is we have no interest in trying to be last year's team. We have no interest in trying to win more than 14 games. We're really focused in on the process, and that process is what's critical. Because in order for kids who've had that experience to get refocused, it's about our team and trying to develop this team with the incoming freshman class, trying to use the experiences that our older players have gained from that, and trying to help the sophomore class who come in and have only known one thing, and trying to get them to understand the possibility of other things besides what they did last year. And so that helps them drive. And so we really are looking at our fight. We're looking at the process and how we're going to become better individually and as a group. So our focus is really kind of put that to rest. We're not defending anything. Those trophies are going to be in there for as long as this building is up. So they're not going anywhere. So we don't have to defend anything. We don't have to go after anything. We just got to worry about the process for this year.
You mentioned the freshman class in there. How have they been acclimating so far? Obviously, the collegiate environment a lot different than the high school or the club team environment. How have they been acclimating, and do you see them really kind of pushing the returnees to kind of take everyone to a new level this year?
You know, it's been really fun to be around this particular group of freshmen because they come in and they see like what we did last year, and so they almost come in with this sense of teach me. What is it that I need to do? And so they've done a great job. The team, our group is an unbelievable group of kids. So they take in the freshmen, and I think those kids feel a part. They feel important. But as all freshmen, they're learning the way, and they're learning the process that we go through. Learning that you have to have adversity to get better. That failure is actually a good thing. That's when you actually get better. So I think they've all kind of really embraced that, and some of them have seen some successes and failures at different times. But I think all of them are handling it extremely well.
You mentioned in your answer to the first question, you know, you're not going out as a team and like, we want to win more than 14 games and surpass last year. And I want to kind of touch on this year's schedule a bit because it does differ a bit from last year's. There are probably a lot more challenges in the non-league part of the schedule than there were last year, and it starts right off the bat. You go to Notre Dame, a top 10 team. You go to Northwestern, it's going to challenge for an NCAA tournament berth this year. You go to a Miami, Ohio team who is one of the region's top mid-major teams. Was there intentional scheduling on your part to say, okay, you know, I want these kind of games in the early portion of the season to try to see what we're made of? Was that intentional on your part?
Well, it was. You know, it was fortunate to get Notre Dame on the schedule. I mean, to open up your season at Notre Dame on a Friday night, that's going to be special for everybody. I mean, that's collegiate sports right there. But it was done intentionally because we have a fairly senior-laden group this year with obviously a lot of important returning players. And I felt like they have the mental and emotional stability to handle the early part of the schedule being so difficult. And what that's going to teach us is exactly who we are, what we need to work on, and help us learn how that fight needs to be. So that way we understand when we are the hunted, exactly what that means. And so we're really trying to be battle-tested. We're not worried about results. We're really worried about our process as we go into those matches in any non-league games, so that we're fully prepared as a unit to attack the Horizon League schedule. There's no easy games in the Horizon League. You see that year after year after year. 1 or 2 points, you're in the tournament, out of the conference tournament. You're hosting, you're not hosting. So we have to keep our mind focused on exactly what is important, and that is the process of making our team and our players better.
Those first two games this weekend, Notre Dame at Notre Dame, Friday night, 6:30 Central, 7:30 Notre Dame time, and then Sunday up in Evanston against Northwestern at 1 p.m. Coach Marovich, good luck this weekend in those two games as you start out your regular season.
Thank you very much. Looking forward to it.
For all your women's soccer news, follow at Valpo WSO on Twitter, Valpo Women's Soccer on Facebook, and for all athletics news, Valpo Athletics on both Twitter and Facebook. Until next time, I'm Aaron Levitt. Go Crusaders.